What's up, good people? What's up, good people? It's your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., the Impact Builder. Welcome to the brand new suite and welcome to greatness. Think different Thursday. Y'all got to give it to me. Y'all know what y'all give to me every single Thursday. I need you to say it with me. I am greatness. I want you to feel that one more time, two more times. I am greatness. One more time. I am greatness. I want y'all to feel that all day today. Before I even get started with all that I got for you, I got the whiteboard for you today. Um, Last night, if you're not a sports fan, you don't even have to be a sports fan to enjoy the energy of what's happening in the NBA Finals this year. And I'm not a Knicks fan. I did like San Antonio back in the day with Tim Duncan. I was a Spurs fan. I'm becoming a Spurs fan again because of Wemby and that team. I like their stories, but I can't help but root for the Knicks. I'm y'all know I'm Baltimore to the bone. I don't like nothing New York. I don't like nothing Boston. Neither one of them. But this year I am actually, and I told my buddy real quick that this year it was something different about the Knicks, and there was some. I was like, this is their year, and I truly have believed that. And last night it just proved it. If y'all didn't see the game, just it's going to be everywhere. I know they're talking about. I mean, they came back from 29 points down, y'all. I was at halftime. I went to go do some work because I had a little bit of work to do. I went and did some work and came back. Oh, let me check the score because I was ready to go to bed. I was getting ready to go to bed, and I was like, they went from, and this was going deep into because I saw a little bit going into the third quarter. And I was like, I'm gonna go do my work. And I had it on, but I wasn't watching. I didn't have it low. And so I'm like, well, let me check the score and see what's going on. And they were down by 4. I was like, oh snap, they just might win this game. And so I watched the end of the game, and I can't even pronounce the guy's name for the Knicks that tipped the ball in. I was like, wow. So kudos to you all, New York. I'm just happy. I'm gonna be honest. This is sincerely. I'm happy to see all of the unity, the unification that's coming together up in New York, because y'all partying hard up there. I know we different down here in Baltimore, but y'all different up there in New York too. Y'all your own little world. But I know the New York people, y'all ain't even got up yet. So when you get up, watch watch this. Go back and watch this. For my New York fans, because I know y'all were literally the city that does not sleep last night, because I didn't know nobody slept up there in New York at all. They was out in the streets for the whole game. I just think it's wonderful. So kudos to y'all, New York. But the job, as Kobe said, job's not finished. You got one more. You got one more game to win, and I would suggest that you handle it in San Antonio on Saturday. Go handle your business, fellas. Great rate of work, and it's for anybody. And y'all know I got to tie all of this into what I do with the brand new suite. Anything that you do as an entrepreneur, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, and as an organization, never, and I write this all the time in my books when I'm doing book signings, never stop believing. And I believe that's what the Knicks did last night, even being down by 29. And when everybody else wasn't believing, they somehow found it within themselves to believe in themselves and started chipping away and started chipping away and started chipping away. And they came away with the victory last night. So never stop believing. All right. So let's hop into it. Let's hop into the brand new suite. You know what I got for you this week. What we've been talking about is what? Addicted to leadership. Being addicted to leadership and the different aspects of the traps. We don't want you to fall into these 5 traps, these 5 leadership traps that quietly are destroying your influence. It can quietly destroy your influence. So that's what we've been talking about all of this week. We've been putting it in. And today we're talking about the burnout trap. The burnout trap. And I know as an entrepreneur, as a leader, these are some things that these want you to avoid. And if you're in these traps, or if you notice that you recognize these things, that you're in that trap, we want you to be able to know how to get out of that trap. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about the burnout trap. Do you always say I'm busy? Do you always say I'm grinding? Do you always say I'm overwhelmed? Is that the language? Y'all remember that from last week, right? Your brand language. Is that the language that you as a leader are speaking? We don't want you speaking that you. I get it. You want to grind and you're working, but you must also take the time out to actually rest as well. And you definitely don't want to feel overwhelmed. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, then you want to take a minute. You want to ensure that you are rested enough and that you are thinking, you're able to give yourself the ability to be able to let your mind rest so that you can recuperate and you can think. And I want you to understand, as we talk about the burnout trap, I want you to understand this can cost you. This leadership trap can cost you more than it produces. And that's what burnout is where it costs you more than you're producing, where you're putting out more than you're producing. You feel as if it's never enough. You're always putting out. You're always putting out. You want to make sure that you don't get to this level of burnout. So let's talk about, I'm busy, I'm grinding, I'm overwhelmed. That's language that you don't want to be using in this this is how you get out of the burnout trap. You got to first, we'll talk about your mind, right? Because that's what greatness think different Thursday is about. We think different. We got to change the mindset of how we feel. So if you find yourself always saying these three words, you definitely want to move away from those. But here's what happens. Here's what happens when you stay in this mode and this mindset trap, or this burnout trap. Leadership fatigue. You get leadership fatigue, which is where you're constantly, even though you're up, you're still not rested, and you're still you feel tired. And I tell you, I've felt like this, where you feel like you haven't even you've slept but you've not rested. And this is something that I know that the one of my business associates friends, Marcy, the trainer, that she talks about all the time, is getting the proper amount of rest. I'm listening to you, Marcy. I'm always listening to you. But she talks about getting the proper amount of rest. That's important, especially if you want to get out of the burnout trap. I want you to ask yourself, how much rest are you getting? And now I'm not talking about sleep. I'm talking about rest, where your mind is actually at rest, because you can be asleep but not get any rest. So you definitely will get leadership fatigue if you find yourself not getting enough rest, and you're always in that mode where you feel like you have to do everything. Next thing is your decision exhaustion, where you always feel like you're the one that's got to make the decision. If you don't make the decision, then it's not going to be the right decision. You've got to trust your team that you've built. And when you have a strong team around you, it leaves you without having to have decision exhaustion. I know one of the things that my closest friend and he and I talk about all the time, because we were both in the hospitality industry together. But one of the things that we practiced as managers, we made sure that our the strongest leg that we had as far as employees was our night auditor. If we didn't have anything else in the building working for, we had a strong night auditor, because that night auditor gave you the ability to be able to not have or deal with decision exhaustion, because when they're a strong night auditor, they make those decisions. They're able to do the things that they need to do without really having to have you call you for everything or deal with you for everything. So you want to avoid decision exhaustion. Your emotional depletion. You've got to make sure that the people around you are not depleting you. They're not taking the energy from you, your emotion, your energy from you. And if they are, then you've got to rebuild that. And you rebuild that by doing what? Getting the rest, being able to take time off and be able to relax, so that you can have the energy that you need. So emotional depletion. Don't allow anyone to deplete your energy or your emotions. Don't let them take it out of you. And then sustainable leadership habits. You will find yourself that you won't have sustainable leadership habits if you have burnout. You don't. So you want to make sure that you create sustainable leadership habits. You have things that you're doing, whether it's a routine, whether it's a schedule you develop, those kinds of things that will help you to alleviate the burnout. It will help you to keep from from having fatigue. It'll keep you from having exhaustion. It'll keep you from having emotional depletion when you do this. So you do that, you avoid the burnout trap. And last thing, next to the last thing, protecting your energy. That's what we talked about here. That's the emotional depletion and the protecting your energy. You got to protect your energy at all costs. If it's an employee, if it's someone that you work with that is giving that negative energy, that can be a cancer within the organization, that is always sapping out the emotional energy, or the depleting everyone's energy, you have to think about removing them from the workplace. That workplace environment is crucial to you as a leader not having burnout. So here's the thing: a burned out leader cannot build a thriving culture. You cannot build your brand new culture if you are burned out. If you have these signs and you see these particular characteristics in you, and you don't do anything about them, you can't build a thriving culture, because that culture will suffer emotional depletion. It'll suffer from from leadership fatigue, or even business fatigue, and then the energy of the business will be flatlined. I promise you. So here's the homework. When we're done with this, I want you to ask yourself this question. Write this question down, because I want this to stick with you all day today. What is your leadership costing you? Is your leadership costing? What is it costing you? Is it costing is it costing you fatigue? Is it giving you fatigue? Is it giving you? Is it exhausting your decision making? Is it depleting your emotional your emotional energy? Is it taking from all that? What is it costing you? I want you thinking about that all day today. And anyone that comes into that space and tries to take it away from you, I need you to make sure that you're putting in place your sustainable leadership habits. What are those habits that you need to have in order to be able to avoid the burnout trap? So I want you to take a look at that. Take a look at in the description. Give me one sustainable leadership habit that you either have right now or that you're going to develop. As a result of watching this particular video, because I want you to come away with that. I want you to have that. Okay. That's what I got for you today. Y'all know, if you want to go into greater detail, schedule that strategy session. Schedule the strategy session. We can talk about the addicted to leadership, because there's a lot of y'all out. A lot of leaders out here that are addicted to leadership, and we don't want you to be addicted to leadership. We want you to be productive in your leadership. So that's what we got for you, the burnout trap. Tomorrow we'll have the last part of this, but also all roads lead to tomorrow afternoon, and I'm going to be in the character driven leadership cafe tomorrow afternoon. I'm not doing the I'm doing the master class, but it's for the character driven leadership. So join me on LinkedIn. I'll be there 2:00 to 3:00. Y'all know we'll be there. We're talking about the 5 levels of leadership. We're going to be talking about 5 levels of leadership, and that's why everything is about leadership this week, leading up to what we're going to be talking about tomorrow, the 5 levels of leadership in the character driven leadership cafe. So it's your boy, the Impact Builder. We'll be right back here on Finish Strong Friday. We'll look to see you. Have a super fantastic greatness Thursday. Remember, lead us with you. Remember, you are greatness. We'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.